Alright, see if I can hear myself. Alright, I can. Oh, probably be a good idea for me to get my list. Hello everyone, BubbleData720 here, bringing you part 203 of my playthrough for Final Fantasy XIV. It's that time again, folks. It's now hatching tide. And it's been raining for a while in Gridania. So let's get going. Of weeds and whimsy. Let's see, I got party eggy glasses. Oh, I don't like those. Come on, give me some goodies. Come one, come all, for the happy season of hatching tide is upon us once more. And what an excellent season it is. A pleasure to meet you. Let's do the first one. That's the spirit. How lovely to see you again, hero. You remember me, yes? It's Chili Aliapo. Come with another vision to share. This year I dreamt of marvelous golden eggs rising from curious flora. As we speak, our dreamers are hiding eggs in the black shroud for participants to lift from the shrubbery, thereby reenacting my dream. Successful seekers will be awarded with very stylish glasses. Not a fan of them. Although no little time has passed since I've had word from dear Nonoda, who is organizing the operation. I cannot help but worry something has gone awry. If only I could go and find her myself, but alas, I have duties to attend to here. Of course, hero, perhaps you would be so kind as to seek Nonoda out in my stead. Count me in. Thank you. I hope she has returned to Gridania safely. It would be worth checking the Aetheryte Plaza before venturing further afield. She too should be wearing a pair of our thematic glasses. Hers is in the shape of a chicken. Well, that's lame. I haven't done this yet, so I don't know what the rewards or the story are. There's Nonoda. My glasses. They're a prize for participating in this year's Hatching Tide festivities, but... Marvelous! I chased a leafy beast and discovered a most fortuitous chicken. But for now I must away. I look forward to these Hatching Tide festivities, these springtime delights. Oh, hello, hero. A happy hatching tide to you. How can I be of service? Chili sent you. I suppose I have been gone for a while, but I've been having trouble hiding our eggs in the arena. As I was working, these tall, thick grasses suddenly sprung forth. I tried to trim them back, but not even my best garden scythe could make the smallest impression. At best, I managed to snip a couple of leaves. Now, I cannot help but worry that our arena is carpeted not by typical brambles, but by a variety of leafkin. We can hardly send our egg hunters into a nest of monsters. Oh, what to do? Count me in. You would help. A godsend, truly. Now let's start by gathering information about this peculiar plant. Though I know adventurers generally prefer to slay monsters first and ask questions later. I shall head for the Botanist Guild. In the meantime, if you could ask around the Carline Canopy regarding the strange specimen, I would greatly appreciate it. Here, take one of the leaves I managed to salvage. Let us reconvene at the Aetheryte Plaza once we have gathered what information we can. Sure. Greetings, adventurer. Have you come seeking a contract? Peculiar plant. This leaf, I dare say it comes from some variety of flytrap. We often receive petitions regarding rosalettes, but I don't believe I've seen leafkin of this particular shade of green. Curious. Just as typical plant life flourishes during this season, so too do leafkin. I would not be surprised if some aberrant strain had developed in the process. If you require assistance in culling it, do not hesitate to ask. Welcome to the Carline Canopy. If there's any way I might be of service, you need only ask. While I am well versed in the leaves steeped in myriad teas, my knowledge can offer no insight of this particular specimen. My apologies. However, we did have a guest come in search of strange leafkin just moments ago, an Ellison gentleman wearing shaded spectacles. He introduced himself as an alchemist specializing in the study of wild beasts. While he did seem somewhat eccentric, perhaps an expert of his standing might offer the assistance you require. I believe he said he was bound for Old Gridania should you desire to seek him out. Hey there, handsome. You looking to hire? I'm good with the lance. Looks like a dude. Oh, I recognize this. A whole swarm of this leafkin was crowding a little corner of the Black Shroud just the other day. Never seen anything quite like it, so I tried giving it a poke. But would you believe it? The leaves and flowers just kept growing back, easy as you please. Eventually I just gave up. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's feeling impotent. Yeah. Oh. Probably be a good idea for me to do this. It's still rainy. You're back. Perfect timing. According to the folks at the Botanist Guild, the leaf belongs to a type of highly durable leafkin. So durable, in fact, that the pieces you and I possess are, apparently, still very much alive. What did you discover? So others have been similarly unsuccessful in cutting them back, in which case developing an alternative strategy does seem in order. The alchemist you mentioned seems like a good lead, don't you think? An Ellison with shaded spectacles. Perhaps that was the fellow with whom I was speaking earlier. He did say something about chasing a leafy beast, after all. Let's head over and see what if we can't find him. Blah. So we're going over where the challenge area was. Go talk with him. Yeah, 3 achievement certificates. And there's nothing else to buy. Yeah, I bought everything. Alright, where's this Ellison little punk at? There he is. Oh ho ho! The fortuitous chicken has found me again, along with a gentleman of adventure. Yes, that sounds like me, ravenous for leafkin large and small, the wayfaring alchemist Herberin at your service. What? Why, this is the very leaf I have been pursuing for moons upon moons. Moons upon moons upon moons upon moons. That is to say, if you are seeking assistance in combating this menace, I would be happy to help. It would be much obliged. As an alchemist, would you say that some sort of concoction might be effective against this creature? Ho ho ho, doubt you not the efficacy of my concoctions, little chicken. With this aberrant leaf in his possession, Herbrand the Great can finally realize his purpose for traveling to the Twelveswood, can finally seize his quarry by the stalk and wrestle it into submission. But my enthusiasm overcomes me. You see, as I was poring over Leafkin of this very persuasion, my eyeballs were subjected to quite a piece of mischief. Since then, they burn like all seven hells if exposed to sunlight, wind, or most anything. So long as I wear these tinted lenses, I can remain upright and free of blinding pain and nausea for several bells at a time, quite long enough to brew a tincture that shall spare you both a similar fate. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have ingredients to procure from the shaded bower. Wait, at least allow me to foot the bill. Just gonna leave it on, even though I went through a tunnel. Oops. I fell. Just the bare sight of that leaf has imbued me with untold mercantile stamina. Like lightning flashed my gill, and like a mountain grew my spoils. Now then, I must gather my thoughts. The leafkin in question is a troublesome strain of flytrap, possessed of vitality so great that it sprouts forth with abundance from the very spot it has been shorn. Therefore, by thwarting its regenerative properties, we might cut this terror down to size, not only in the metaphorical sense, but the literal. You two have living pieces of its tender floral flesh. Combined with my chosen ingredients, they should yield a distillation that will forestall the creature's recovery. The effects will be temporary, but a skilled hand needs only a few moments. No, soak your scythe in Herbrand's bane and mow with all your might. What wonderful news! Can you imagine if the creatures were only susceptible to fire? An egg hunt through a field of ash is hardly what Jilly dreamed of. Fire, heavens forfend, my dear chicken. The act of snipping in itself is transcendent communication, or so they say. To inhale the life breath of the forest, to welcome within one's heart the bounties of the land, to occasionally have one's eyes squirted with burning venom. These are the experiences we live for. Not to mention all the free samples of plant life to be gained along the way. Were I not liable to keel over at any moment, I would like nothing better than to slice the shrubbery by your side. However, I have every confidence that a brave adventurer such as yourself will succeed where I have failed. Now, let us commence. Make me the happiest man in the realm, and bestow upon me your leaves. Just as oil dissolves oil, the extracts from the leaf shall counteract their own regenerative properties. Whereby this should be brought thusly, and that should be. Yes, from all angles may this scythe strike true. Not a fan of it. I offer up my masterpiece, my soul, my well-lubricated garden scythe. In your hands may it hack away our hardships. Prepare to meet the Reaper. You can leave the rest of me. Exterminate. Ooh, I gotta do this, because it's like a Doctor Who reference. Well, let's not get too carried away, shall we? Think of the children. Now that our garden site is equipped to cut back the fly traps, we are one step closer to reclaiming our arena. Rest assured, your efforts will be rewarded with exclusive Hatching Tide gifts, but do take care to avoid any squirting venom. Herburn the Upright would like to join this sortie to observe the effects of his alchemical miracle, insofar as they can be observed with scalded eyeballs. Of course, let us watch heroes work from a safe distance. Our arena is a fair walk from here, so I will have the Dreamers arrange for a chocobo carriage. Come and find me when you are ready to depart. Wow, I'm actually surprised at how long that it's been raining in the area. Ready to clear our arena of troublesome sprigs and stalks? Just say the word and an egg usher shall whisk us away. You can now participate in sprig cleaning. Wield a special garden site to slay troublesome traps and retrieve Archon eggs. All classes and jobs are eligible to participate in sprig cleaning. Speak with the egg ushers in Mikedo's Amphitheater or the Acorn Orchard to travel to the arena. We're actually going to change jobs for this. What do I want to do? I want to do a tank. Could go Scholar. Or I'll go Summoner. When you are ready, I shall escort you to the Egg Arena. If I may provide any further assistance, do not hesitate to let me know. In order to continue this quest, you must first clear 4 stages of sprig cleaning. You may learn more about sprig cleaning by speaking with the Egg Usher. I'm in the weeds. Pruning Pirouette, the Spriginator, Roaring Escapade. So it's kind of like Plants vs. Zombies a little bit, I guess, maybe? Oh, I guess I gotta move on. Nope, I don't move on. Oh, I do. Okay. Ah, so I can do the next one now. I wonder. I'm gonna go in the exact center. Final reward. I got 6 special brilliant eggs. I got gold Archon egg. New record. Oh, it's clean. I don't need it anymore. Magnificent work. Thanks to you, our Hatching Tide participants may search for eggs in safety and comfort. Indeed, my alchemical solution exceeded even my own expectations. You have delivered me a vision, a dream. Not to mention sprigs of a most troublesome trap. How I shall probe, how I shall stare, all without risk to what remains of my vision. Ho ho. Well, I'm glad he seems pleased with the results. Go ahead and tell Jilly that our egg hunt may proceed as scheduled. Did I get any eggs? Huh? I didn't get any eggs? I wonder what... Oh, I guess it was a currency, maybe. Or maybe they're in my key items. The arena was filled with leafkin. No wonder preparations were taking longer than expected. I'm glad to hear the issue has been resolved and that everyone emerged unscathed. Not only did Hero clean up those sprigs and sprouts, he also managed to retrieve what eggs were lost to the foliage. We should be ready to hide the eggs anew and begin the festivities. I would like to thank the alchemist who was so crucial to the operation. Do you think Master Herberin is still in Gridania? Eureka! Yep, he's still here. The man himself, you sound, cheerful. Fair chicken, cheerful does not describe the half of my mood. For here, Herberin the Peerless has made a discovery for the ages. From the leafkin samples you provided me, I was able to concoct a regenerative ointment for my poor blistered eyeballs. I am cured. My habit of sticking my face too close to my object of study has at long last served me well. For where once venom splashed, so too did an antidote. Can you imagine how else we might manipulate the properties of these fantastic creatures? We could develop cures upon cures, devise agents upon agents. We are witness to a golden age of alchemy rising resplendent from fields of fell leafkin. Goodness, this must be what the eggs in my dream represented, the bright hopes for the future that this discovery portends. So it was you, my oval comrades, who spoke of destiny. Had I but listened, alas, Herberin has been a fool. But no longer. I shall hereby heed the wisdom of Egg and continue my work with full faculties, all thanks to you. You seem to possess a great appreciation for the spirit of Hatchingtide, and also a pair of our promotional glasses. Oh, these. These I wear not for protection against the elements, but as a reminder of the catalyst that changed my fate forevermore. It does me proud to see how Hatchingtide brings joy to one and all, and our celebrations have but scarcely begun. Hero, please accept these glasses as a token of our appreciation. You have more than earned them. Sweet. Something that I'm going to go put away. Our dreamers will continue patrols of the arena, but we may well need some further trimming. Your assistance would be much appreciated, and rewarded with special Hatchingtide gifts. You can participate in sprig cleaning as many times as you wish by speaking with the egg ushers in Mikedo's Amphitheater or the Acorn Orchard. Race against the clock as you slash your way through endless stages of shrubbery and aim for the highest score possible. You may earn special brilliant eggs by completing sprig cleaning. Special brilliant eggs may be traded to the Dreamer in Mikedo's Amphitheater for gear and items. I wonder what kind of stuff I can get. Springtime Delights was the achievement that I got. I don't want it. The Dreamer I'm looking for. There's Herberin. Dreamer, here you go. Painted eggy glasses, slim framed eggy glasses. Ugh, gross. Spriggan eyeglasses. I'm not a fan of any of these eyeglasses. They all suck. Sorry, I'm... Oh, you can get scattered Archon eggs. Archon... Filled Archon egg basket. And a regular Archon egg basket. Alright, so that's a lot of eggs I need to get. But I'm not going to do that right now. Alright, I fulfilled the basics necessities for that. The bare necessities, as it would. We're gonna go to Horizons, the closest. So we're gonna go and try and finish, we're gonna try and finish the Binding Coil of Bahamut. So the only thing I'm going to want out of that would be the Hatching Tide housing stuff, so that way I could decorate my base with Easter stuff. The triumphant hero doth return. Thine eyes speak of the dread task's completion. The second quill now lieth dormant. Yet I sense the tidings thou bearest are not altogether glad. Pray tell me, what ill hath cast a shadow which falleth across thy brow? You're not gonna like it. I bring ill tidings indeed. An old foe and an old friend. So 'twas but the ethereal shadow of Master Louis Soir that Lady Alice beheld, an unnatural conjuration in thrall to the elder primal. That the fiend should deign to choose him of all men, even in full knowledge of the shade's true nature, I would be hard-pressed to weather such a confrontation. Yet what agonies must the young mistress have endured, such torment did she ne'er deserve. Mayhap 'twere better if the Lady Alice did absent herself from future forays into the coils. I've come too far to surrender to grief, Urianger. My lady, I am resolved to defeat these fiends, and naught shall sway me from my path. Now let us peer more deeply into the well of our discoveries. As you wish, my lady. By your leave, I would speak first of the Quill's late guardian, Nail Van Darnus. Van Darnus was a legatus of the Garlean Empire who strove to bring about Eorzea's final destruction, only to fall even as the sixth sun did set. If thou hast heard tales of the White Raven, then it is he of whom they speak. He, I say, for Nail was for a certainty no maid. The noble house of Van Darnus, as we discovered all too late, had long safeguarded the wisdom of ancient Elag. 'Twas thus that the legatus came to learn the true nature of Dalamud and to seek to employ the Red Moon as a weapon against Eorzea. But the crystal tower and the mechanism required to command the satellite yet lay hidden beneath the ground, compelling Nail to construct a far less subtle mechanism. And in his first faltering attempts to communicate with Dalamud, he did likely rouse the satellite's slumbering prisoner. Thenceforth did the White Raven's soul belong to Bahamut. He was fortunate indeed to acquire so powerful a thrall by chance. 'Tis little wonder he was so loath to part with him. Why let a simple thing like death deprive one of so useful a pawn? Though we may accuse him of bungling Van Darnus' resurrection, I dare say Bahamut was as content to have a handmaiden as a manservant. I only hope that the two thralls we encountered were the extent of his flock. Yet I cannot help but dwell on Nail's words, those beloved children of whom he spoke. I assumed at first that he referred to the moon's beastly guardians, but should Bahamut have enslaved other mortals, we must needs remove this source of worship. Otherwise our efforts to disable the coils shall be for naught. Forgive me mine indelicacy, my lady. Thou art wise indeed to speak of expunging the primal thralls, but canst thou truly pursue a course which would cost thee thine own grandsire? My heart and mind are not as one in this matter. Grandfather's salvation can be won but by a single method, the destruction of Bahamut and aught that might serve to sustain him. Hero, while Urianger and I endeavor to ascertain the existence of any further thralls, I suggest you grant yourself a moment's respite. Rest assured that I will contact you the moment I have need of your inimitable talents. That we have achieved so much I owe to you. I fear, however, that our trials have barely begun. Though time had dulled the pain of thy passing, I find that I am wounded afresh. Master Louis Sois, what good shall come of this unending search for knowledge and truth? Long have I believed the pursuit of such treasures to be the duty of every true Charlian. Yet when each new revelation serveth only to heap further anguish upon those whom we would fain protect, must we truly reach for more? So you have found your resolve, dear sister. Will you now find a use for the secret, for the key that only you and I hold? Given our familial propensity for curiosity, you would do well to remember that keys may serve to seal doors as well as to unlock them, and Bahamut is a most unwelcome guest, to whom the door should never have been opened. You can handle the truth. Ha! Tussle with gods, fragments of truth. Alright, here we go. We're gonna do fragments of truth. Man is wont to cast light wheresoever secrets lie hid in darkness, though that which he illuminateth seldom bringeth him joy. So it is with such unhappy truths as Bahamut's immense shadow doth conceal. Yet ever onward forgeth Mistress Alisaie, undeterred by the burden of knowledge that weighteth heavy on her heart. To the perilous path she hath chosen, and a painful one, I prithee, hero, remain by her side as her valiant blade, that she might see her quest to its conclusion. Hero, it is well that you are here. My lady, how might I serve you this day? I have met with some difficulty in my mission, Urianger, and I should be grateful for your counsel. As you know, Bahamut's physical form is regenerating beneath the Cartnell Flats even as we speak. If we are to prevent his return, we must needs disable the two remaining internment hulks that sustain him. Every moment our mission is delayed, the realm is pushed closer to the brink of destruction. Alas, though I have determined the locations of the fragments of Dalamud leading to the hulks, I have been unable to find a way to enter them. And gaining admittance is but the first step in your perilous undertaking. When last thou descended into Bahamut's subterranean fastness, thou didst discover, didst thou not, that the dread primal had bound the shade of Nael Vandarnus unto his will. And though thou didst consign the fallen legatus to blessed oblivion, thou mayest recall that the piteous wretch was not alone. Doubt not but that Bahamut's other thralls shall seek to hinder thy passage. You can say his name, Urianger. I have not forgotten that my grandfather is waiting for us. My lady, I would remind you, as I must oft remind myself, that the man whom we both loved and revered is no more. What remaineth is but a shade which defileth his memory. The vile verbiage that spilleth from his lips must not be heeded, for it cometh not from your grandsire, but from Bahamut himself. You need not worry, Urianger. Come what may, I will not stray from the course. I will not let grandfather's sacrifice be in vain. But mere words will not take us whither we must go. As I said, I have been unable to find a way to enter the fragments of Dalamud. My lady, might I suggest that you visit the fragments again in Hero's company? Full oft hath the warrior of light set events in motion by virtue of his presence alone. 'Tis possible that he may do so again. I, the while, shall search for answers of mine own. By our efforts combined, we're not making Captain Planet, but full sure am I that the path shall be revealed to us ere long. Were it anyone else, I should question the wisdom of such advice. Yet I cannot deny that what you say about Hero is true. Very well, I shall do as you suggest. Assuming you have no objections, of course. Good. Now we seek entry to two fragments of Dalamud. One lies at the Burning Wall in eastern Thanlin, and the other in the Singing Shards of Mordona. I left an assistant on each location with instructions to continue searching for a means of ingress. It is not impossible that they could since have found something useful to us. Let us begin by visiting my man at the Burning Wall. Dex, I think it was. Alright, where are we going? Going down. Going down. Oh, now it tells me to go up. Oh, there they are. I say, are you not Master Hero, my lady's most faithful companion? Sinis, sir, at your service, and may I say what an honor it is to meet you. Likewise. How goes the survey, Dex? My lady, it shames me to say that I have found no viable path to the fragment. Though it stands there before our very eyes, the way thither has thus far proven impassable. When the fragment fell and pierced the land, it caused a prodigious amount of aether to spew forth. 'Twas this that gave rise to the land's twisted lay, which seems destined to thwart our efforts. Even were an opening to exist, I fear that we would struggle to reach it. Cannot give up. Keep trying. So near and yet so far. Well, it avails us not to stand here and stare at the thing. Let us away to Mordona and try the other fragment. Perhaps Sinis has fared better. Upon that note, my lady, there is something I must tell you. I am sorry to report that I lost contact with my brother just over a bell ago. As you know, the Singing Shards are home to many fell creatures, ogres among them. While I do not wish to cause you undue alarm, I fear something unspeakable may have happened to Dex. What? Why didn't you... Give me strength. I must hurry to my assistant's aid, Hero. You notice how she got their names backwards. And that they didn't even try to correct her. That looks like an aether storm happening in Mordona. I would love to see how Mordona looked before the wreckage. I would like to see how Eorzea looked without the drop of Dalamud. Alright. There he is. And there's Dex. Thank you, adventurer. For a moment there, I feared that my bones were to be ground up and used to bake bread. I'm relieved to see that you are unharmed. It was wrong of me to press such a dangerous task upon you. But my lady, your worries are wasted on me. 'Twas nothing at all, I assure you. If it please you, I shall report on my findings. As you can see, though the tip of the fragment is exposed, the rest is encased in rock and crystal, rendering it impossible to enter the structure. We might try excavating the area around the fragment, but that is likely to take time, and there really is no telling how deep we may have to dig before we find a suitable point of ingress. As such, I am forced to conclude that gaining entry to this fragment is unrealistic. Forgive me, my lady. Confound it, we are losing precious time. What are we to do now? Why don't we drop in, via Sid? 'Tis I, Urianger. Glad tidings have I for thee and my lady. For our blessing, a way hath been found by which thou mayest enter the remaining fragments of Dalamud. Pray escort Mistress Alisate to the cerulean processing plant, Northern Thanlin. There all shall be made clear. Urianger has found a way. Then we must go to him at once. Northern Thanlin. Cerulean processing plant. And he's right here. Mine apologies for summoning you thus from afar, my lady, but 'tis here that your journey may finally begin. I did wonder. To my knowledge, there are no fragments in Northern Thanlin. Nor are you mistaken, my lady, yet a pathway doth exist, one which you yourself have made us use of in the past. At the conclusion of your several forays into the binding coil, 'twas at the crystal formation which lieth to the north of this place that you did emerge, was it not? Yes, an ethereal stream bore us back to the surface. That much I had surmised. Are you suggesting that we can use it to return underground? And even if that were possible, would it not simply bear us back to those places which we have already explored? It need not, my lady. Pray allow me to explain. Upon the evidence of your experience, it seemeth plain that the two interment hulks may share the self-same ethereal egress. From this we did infer that others may have connected in like wise. Thus did we labor long to verify the existence of further tributaries to the selfsame stream, in which task we were at length successful. 'Twas then but a matter of arriving at a solution to the problem of traveling to an unattuned destination. That one might reach what we may call the headwater, we propose to employ a modified aetherite which serveth to amplify such ripples as do originate from said source. By focusing one's essence upon these ripples, it should be possible to make the journey. Yet be fairly warned, my lady, as with all untried modes of ethereal travel, this method entaileth considerable danger. Merely to attempt a voyage could cost you your life. That is a risk I'm willing to take. You're brilliant, Urianger. But I'm curious, did you have assistance in forming this plan? I could not help noticing your repeated use of the word we, unless you have taken to using the majestic plural in our absence. Nay, my lady, as you have correctly surmised, I was not alone in this endeavor. Meaning there are others who are aware of our mission. Well, it cannot be helped now. Preventing Bahamut's return is what matters. If some secrecy must be sacrificed to achieve our goal, then so be it. Yep. So that must be the modified aetherite. But what are the immortal flames doing here? Those men may be sworn flames of Ul'dah, but they are first and foremost faithful retainers of House Leviur. Ha. Alphino? So it was you who was helping Oriange. Who else could it have been, dear sister? Lest you worry, I have no intention of making the details of your venture public. Like you, I would prefer to avoid causing a panic. But given that which is at stake, namely the survival of the realm, one must be willing to accept help when it is offered. Would you not agree? At the very least, do not be cross with Oriange. 'Twas at my behest that he kept silent. Huh, we will speak later. Pray forgive me, my lady, but knowing full well your intent, I judged it meet that Master Alphino be informed. Though your grandsire hath become Bahamut's thrall, his noble blood courses yet through both your veins, and if he must needs be struck down. Do you hear that, Alphino? I mean to strike down grandfather, and when I have done so, I shall banish Bahamut to the aether. Nothing you say will sway me from my course. I will protect the Eorzea, and I will uphold grandfather's legacy. Grandfather's legacy? So you still do not know what you yourself desire. Your actions are still driven by borrowed resolve. Borrowed resolve? What does that have to do with anything? Protecting your Eorzea was grandfather's goal, and we made it ours, both of us. That is why we came here, unless you have forgotten. Gods forbid I should ever forget, Alice. But you misunderstand. I did not question your resolve, only whence it came. If it were your own, you would be able to tell me precisely why you desire so fervently to protect Eorzea. Yet you cannot, for it is not your resolve, but grandfather's. You may struggle to see the difference, but borrowed resolve shall never be as strong as that which springs from within. But let us speak of this another time. For now, preventing Bahamut's return is all that matters. To be plain, I have no objection to striking down whatever is left of grandfather. Now, however, that I will be accompanying you this time, as a son of House Leviur, I would be present for his final moments. Very well, he may join us on one condition. I make the decisions. If it please my lady, the name's Erkenrad. Our preparations are just about complete. When you're ready to embark on your mission, just give me the word. I'll be waiting for you at the cerulean processing plant. Pay no heed to my brother. You can rely on me. We have come far together, you and I, and together we shall see our journey to its end. Well, I'm close to another million. I've been waiting for you, Master Hero. I'm pleased to say that the Aetherite's primed and ready. As you know, the remaining interment hulks are connected to the fragments in East Adeline and Mordona. It's the former that will be sending you first. Now you'll be starting inside the hulk, meaning that you won't have to cover so much ground, the drawback being that you'll be fighting for your life from the moment you get there. Best be prepared for anything, for my lady's sake if not your own. And that's about all I can tell you. When your preparations are in order, just give me the word, and I'll send you on your way. I may even throw in a prayer for your speedy return, just to be on the safe side. Yay. The final coil of Bahamut is now accessible. Well, first things first. We gotta unsync it. We got 4 things to hit. Turn 1. Potential Dex 45, 60 yalms. Termite Hulk. I see something. I see -06. So this is how it looks from the inside. This interment hulk still functions. The teleportation was a success. We come to the right place. There's no telling how much further Bahamut has regenerated since we last beheld him. Let us make haste to the main bridge and deactivate the coil. Yep. There are receptacles similar to these in the previous Hulk. Those held chimerical beasts, but only the Allagons know what other abominations they may be sleeping within. They may well be part of Dalamud's internal defenses. We must stay on our guard at all times. Mm-hmm. That's you guys. I can take care of this with both hands tied behind my back, one leg hobbled and blindfolded. You don't have to worry about anything. As long as I can one-shot them, I don't have to worry about pulling any other ads. Alright, so this boss does a lot of electricity damage, and if I remember correctly, you gotta separate... do separation, otherwise they get stacking buffs. But we're gonna avoid it, because we're gonna absolutely maim it. Hey, I just saw Twintania. Yeah, it does a lot of dot damage and electricity. Imdagood. You know what? We're just gonna end it. Ah, crap. It's invincible. Alright, good. I hope I have enough bag space. Ooh, it's kind of close. Mapping the realm, final coil Bahamut 1. By the 12 dragons, and so many. We were aware that the Allagons possessed the means to control the creatures, but to imprison them thus is barbaric. I would not wish such a fate upon my worst enemy. 'Tis plain that no love was lost between the Allagons and the dragons, but was it truly necessary to keep so great a number here? Dalamud did not want for defenses, this we have experienced firsthand. Such guardians as the Allagons created, both living and unliving, were surely no less capable of repelling intruders than these poor creatures. Tell me something, Alisei. Have you not managed to determine by whose will Bahamut exists? No, I have not. At first I assumed that Bahamut had no people of his own, that the Allagons had perhaps discovered a way to simulate prayer itself. However, Nail's words gave me cause to reconsider, specifically the Shade's mention of Bahamut's beloved children. From that I inferred that the primal is given form by the will of worshippers whom we have yet to... Oh. God strike me down for a blind fool. Bahamut's beloved children right there before my very eyes. How could I be so stupid? Who else but the dragons of Eld would summon Bahamut? Who else but they could sustain him? And to think I wondered why the Allagons kept him imprisoned here. Even should the flame of Bahamut's life go out, his faithful children would summon him back. For this reason, the Allagon Empire kept an army of dragons here in a perpetual state of duress, that they might sustain the primal's existence. Truly, the Allagon's ingenuity knew no bounds, and neither did their cruelty. Small wonder that Bahamut was so enraged. Let no one deny that it was man who sowed the seeds of the calamity. Will you now turn your hatred towards our own kind, dear sister? Do not patronize me, Alphino. I merely acknowledge our guilt. Lest you be in any doubt, I have no intention of allowing Bahamut to lay the world to waste, regardless of the atrocity the Allagons committed against his kind. We have no choice but to eliminate all who worship him, be they his children or his thralls. It seems reasonable to assume that the system responsible for the primal's regeneration is also responsible for sustaining the captive dragons. If we disable it, all should perish. Let us press on. Kind of rough considering the knowledge we know now about tempering. Makes you wonder, if we had known the knowledge beforehand, could we have actually saved, Louis Soir? Time for turn 2. Interment Hulk IC-06, regeneration grid 6835 yalms. This might be one I might not be able to do solo. I remember one of them was one that I couldn't do solo. It might be this one. Yeah, I think it might be this one. Yeah, because you can't get by these barriers. You need more than one person to do this. Dang it. I need someone to do this with me. What was it? Unsync. Should be able to find someone from the guild that will be able to unsync it with me. Sweet. We're both warriors. Okay. Yay, it worked. It'll be easy enough. Alright, sweet. Let's see who we're fighting now. I don't remember this one. We're just gonna smash it. Hulk smash. Kalia. Hee. Absolute garbage. All right. Knocked it out. Why, this looks like a model of Dalamud. Yes. For millennia, Bahamut must have gazed at this unchanging view. Trapped inside a prison that was scarcely large enough to contain him, unable to move, denied the release of death, how his hatred for man must have burned. And that hatred found an ideal vessel in Nail Van Darnus. In many ways, Bahamut is to be pitied, not loathed, but knowing the true extent of his fury, I am more convinced than ever of the necessity of our endeavor. Besides, his is not the only soul that cries out for vengeance. I'm gonna try and see if I can't put some stuff away right fast. Try and free up some bag space. And that's one of the good reasons to have a good guild. Alright, that gave me 2 bag slots. That'll give me nothing. And that gives me nothing. Well, I got 2 extra bag slots. That works. So we'll also go and do this. Gives me another 3 slots. Alright. And then I can put the weeping cherry tree into my house. So it gives me 8 slots right now. I can get a 9th slot. Oh, there's where the eggs are at, by the way. Alright, so let's go and do turn 3. I should not need anyone else to help me with this now.
Gods, he is almost whole again.
Still missing that bottom torso. Internment Hulk IC-06, main bridge, 8872 yalms.
This size is staggering. I can scarce imagine how Grandfather stood against such a monstrosity.
Yeah, he's still only half formed.
This cannot be allowed to proceed any further. Let us disable the coil and move on.
There he is.
Grandfather? No, that man is dead. I will not dishonor my beloved grandsire's memory by calling you such. You are but his twisted shape, the thrall of a mad primal.
You were foolish to disregard my warning, child. Are you so convinced of your own righteousness?
'Tis the rightness of our path that led us to return. Eorzea will never be safe whilst Bahamut remains to threaten all we hold dear. What of the hero who gave his life in defense of the realm? Do you truly dispute the justice of our cause?
My poor, ignorant grandchildren. Your world is shaped by naught but recent conflict. Listen, and I will speak to you of justice. 'Twas in the twilight of the Third Astral Era. The southern land of Mericidia suffered invasion at the hands of the Alagon Empire. With no atrocity, too depraved for their purpose, the forces of Alec were unstoppable in their advance. Desperate for salvation, the dragons prayed to one of their first brood, to their ancestor Bahamut. Infused by the power of their fervent supplications, Bahamut arose from the abyss of death and took wing as the Mericidians' newborn god.
How's it going, Sandy?
Yet this great miracle would only serve to further the maniacal designs of the dragon's imperial conquerors. The cruel fetters which bind my lord stand testament to the Alagon's boundless greed and hubris. I once summoned the 12 in an attempt to forestall the advent of the 7th Umbral Era. What then did the dragons of Mericidia do that I did not? Wherefore are they accursed and I exalted?
I enjoyed this game for a long time. I've been playing this since 2013. I just decided to try and get the story shared on my channel. I used to be a big WoW head back in the day. I played vanilla WoW, and then up to the point of right before the Siege of Orgrimmar and Mists of Pandaria, I had a little bit of a revelation where I was basically just getting on just to fulfill quotas, like try to fill out my timers and stuff for the week before resets, and I wasn't really exactly playing it to enjoy it. I was just playing it to fill in time. A lot of my friends had moved on, stuff like that, or they just weren't on at the time. So I ended up quitting that game, and then I found this game literally right afterwards, and I've been playing with it. The good thing about this game, though, is you can literally play it for free up to the end of, I believe, Stormblood, which would be the 3rd X-Pack. So you get A Realm Reborn, which is technically its own X pack, and then you get Heaven's Ward, and then you get Stormblood. So you can play all of that for free without having to pay any subscriptions. Now, there are caveats where you can't join a guild, you can't make a guild, like your own free company. You can join the craftsmen and the job guilds, but you can't join player guilds. And also, of course, you can't have retainers, and you can't hold, I think, up more than 500,000 gil at a time. But at any time, if you do enjoy the game and you decide to go to a paid subscription, it unlocks the full game for you. So, wherever you buy for the, foreseeable future. It is an enjoyable thing if you do like MMOs. It's got a very compelling story. It does have some slow parts, but, every story will have its slow parts. It is a fun experience. Like I said, I've been playing this for over 10 years, and I've been enjoying it, so.
'Tis man's overweening belief in his own primacy that blinds him to the commonness of his condition and the truth of his own tyranny. As long as man is suffered to remain, the dragons shall never be at peace. Only when the plague of people has been expunged shall the children of Lord Bahamut be free. Then shall the world know true justice.
I'm compelled to play games that have story. So, for instance, I played both the Last of Us games. I want to get into the Silent Hill games. I've played some of the Resident Evil games. I still have some outstanding Resident Evil titles I need to finish. Let's see. Other Final Fantasy titles I've played. Not for this channel. I played Lunar 1 and 2. I still need to finish Lunar 2 for the channel. The indie games like Deltarune I want to play. I want to play those. Let's see. Telltale games are fun. I like those story with the semblance of choice a little bit. Witcher 3 I have ongoing to finish, and I also do sandbox games like 7 Days to Die and Minecraft, but I haven't touched Minecraft so much as 7 Days to Die lately. 7 Days to Die has been like big on my plate. It's because I love the Zeds and the survival aspect and the adultness of it compared to the childishness of Minecraft.
Stop it! Grandfather would never say such things. His belief that people were worth saving never faltered. He had faith in their strength, that they could stand together and push back against the darkness seeking to shake them.
A false hope. 'Tis folly to place one's faith in so flawed a race.
That is one series I have yet to even begin playing at all, and I would love to play. God of War was an interesting storyline. Another one that I haven't technically played yet, but I want to play would be the the Blood Omen Legacy of Kain series. Those would be kind of difficult to get back into, though, because of the fact that the older titles are like PS1 era. So, I have to figure those out. Yep. Now, interesting. I hope that didn't cut my well, I don't know what happened, but for some weird reason it looked like it skipped. I guess we're going to fight Phoenix. Ah, crap baskets. Oh. Well, I forgot the mechanics of this. Goes to show, even if you unsync it, you can still get killed in this game. Alright, there we go. Sure. I hope it's not something about giving me free banners and stuff, though, because I've been hit with a lot of that lately. I have a sneaking suspicion that that's what the question's going to be, and that it sounds AI-ish. I hope I didn't cut off the cutscene. I'll be kind of upset if I did.
Grandfather is truly gone this time. But better it end this way than the alternative.
I am yet here, Alice, my dear, sweet granddaughter.
The thing about streaming I like is sharing experience with other people and the community. Like having a group of like-minded people that love enjoying story and gameplay. I like sharing in that aspect, and that the strength that that community can bring to doing good deeds and stuff like that. Like eventually I would like to do charity work, but as of right now, with me having to actually have a real life job and stuff in order to survive, that is a pipe dream.
Grandfather?
I must thank you, warrior of light. Without your valor, I might never have broken free of Bahamut's control. These last few moments are mine, to live as the man I once was.
This is all that I wanted. Yet, now that it is happening, I find myself struggling to believe it. Is it really you?
Grandfather, pray forgive me my insolence. It was not my intent to demean you.
Forgive you? I am proud of you, child. You were wise enough to deduce the manner of creature I had become.
I have a sneaking suspicion that the cutscene got broken. I'm gonna have to replay it.
Alfino, Alize, if any here should beg forgiveness, it is I.
So basically what happened is Louis Swaby was reborn as the Phoenix and was thralled.
Grandfather, I must ask, will you not tell us what befell during the calamity?
Or wait, maybe it
Yes.
didn't break.
Yes, of course. You have come far to hear the truth.
Maybe I jumped the gun.
Let us then begin the tale at the Battle of Cartano, where clashed the forces of the Garlean Empire and the Eorzean Alliance. 'Twas there in the sky above the surging armies that the elder primal Bahamut broke free of the Red Moon Dalamut. In an effort to contain this avatar of destruction, I called upon the 12 to aid me in the creation of a prison of ether. But Bahamut would not be caged by such feeble bars. Too vast was his might, too fierce his rage. Little choice remained to me. I used the last of my strength to entrust our hope unto the future, and prepared to meet my end.
I am curious. I'm going to double check after this. Nope, I got stopped. Ah, so he popped it like a balloon. Nice. So he basically became a spear of energy. And then dispersed all the damage so that it wouldn't destroy the planet. Okay.
As you have no doubt surmised, I did not perish. When the cage built from the essences of the 12 was destroyed, the sky was filled with a colossal cloud of ether. This drifting energy responded to the prayers of those fighting below, and to my own desperate wish that the dying realm be saved by infusing me with the power of a primal. I became the immortal phoenix, ancient symbol of rebirth. Rising into the sky, I struck Bahamut with all my newfound strength. The blow shattered his earthly form, and a shower of ether rained down upon the land. Thus began the rejuvenation of Eorzea. Believing the deed done, I relinquished my hold on that staggering energy, desirous that it should be returned to the realm without delay. But I had not reckoned on Bahamut's tenacious will. Even as he teetered upon the cusp of oblivion, the dragon reached out to claim me. Alas, within my fast fading form, enough remained of the Phoenix's energy to offer Bahamut a hold, and he dragged me along in his wake.
And thus began your existence as the Elder Primal's thrall.
I cannot help but wonder at his will to survive. Though he was all but obliterated, Bahamut found a way to seize the power you surrendered. That would explain why part of his physical form survived to be entombed underground.
It would also explain why Eorzea was so terribly warped. Even as the land sought to restore itself, the returning flow of ether was cut off.
Ah, very good. When his grip on existence was once again secured, Bahamut did not cease his feast until he had consumed every last mote of ether that yet floated in the air.
and still he was not fully restored.
You must remember that by this time, much of the freed ether had already returned to the land. That which remained was not sufficient to reconstruct so massive a form in its entirety. But there did not need to be. Not for a being sustained by the marvels of Allagan technology. As long as some piece of Bahamut persists, the coils will seek it out and continue their regenerative task. The fragments of Dalamud appear motionless from the surface, but deep beneath the ground they had been searching, tunneling through rock and soil towards their escaped prisoner. And, as you have observed for yourselves, they found his heart. Warrior of Light, heed me. You must put a stop to Bahamut's regeneration. Whether it be for man or for dragonkind. The question of justice is irrelevant. The Elder Primal will leave naught but a smoldering wasteland for both his children and ours. I beg you to defend Eorzea and guide its people to the future they yet struggle to find. This portal will take you to the final internment hulk. 'Tis time for the tale of Bahamut and his part in the calamity to come to an end. Alvino, Alize, pray, come closer. Your hopes and dreams must no longer be an extension of mine. You must needs find your own reason to fight for this realm, your own meaning in this sea of chaos. Will you do that for me?
Of course, Grandfather. I have already made it my mission to see this newborn Eorzea survive and flourish.
Alize, while I was yet enthralled to Bahamut, you spoke of my faith in man's strength. Know that your words reached me, imprisoned though my soul still was. So forceful was your conviction, I wonder if that belief has not become your own. Perhaps, after all your anger and sorrow was spent, you found something greater within you. See this fight to its culmination. 'Tis also your strength in which I have faith.
Thank you for everything. Pray, take your rest, Grandfather. You deserve it.
There are records of an art that allowed one to summon the power of a primal from the essence of its demise. And though I am no true primal, all that I have left, I give to you. Alvino, Alize, my darling grandchildren. May Light's blessings ever keep and protect you.
And with that, a great one is gone.
Come, warrior of light. Our task remains undone.
I'm gonna check and see if that cutscene has been broken. I'm still feel like a bit of it is removed. But yeah, there's Bahamut. That's entry point. I can't use return at this time. How far forward are you allowed to go? Not very far forward. Okay. Why can't I return? Oh, we're gonna do this. I know I've already been here, but I want to pull out and then see if I can return home. Shoot, it won't let me. Alright, well I guess we gotta finish this. Alright, time to go fight Big Baddie. The Burning Heart.
'Twas a long and arduous road, but at last we reach its end. Farewell, Bahamut. I banish you back to the ether.
That's not good.
He is not yet whole. I did not think him capable.
Alize! Alize!
I had thought it finally over. Will not survive another blast. No. Is this how I honor my promise to grandfather?
You must needs find your own reason to fight for this realm. Your own meaning in this sea of chaos. Will you do that for me?
I will, grandfather. In fact, I believe I already have. That reason has been with me all along, guiding me. Eorzea's blade of light, shearing through endless shrouds of darkness. I have been shown the miraculous feats of which we are all capable, of which I am capable. Bahamut, you have wreaked enough havoc. I will not let your wrathful fires consume all that we know and love.
I have waited to hear you say that. You have found your resolve at last.
Are we doing a tandem summoning?
Let me join my strength to yours. In this place, in this moment, our purpose has become one. Future of Eorzea!
This last task is yours, Warrior of Light. You must destroy Bahamut's crystal core.
Come on, just let me go at him. Let me at him. Enough preamble. It's just me. No one else is coming in. Oh, I got goosebumps already. He's really saying it with his chest. All right, here we go. I kind of don't want to kill him right away. Yeah, I want the full thing. I gotta be careful though. So if I'm not careful, I could accidentally get one shot and we have to start this all over. I gotta wait for the magic to pop. There we go. They alternate between physical immunity and magic immunity. These guys, I think they're just glass cannons. Come on. There we go. So we're gonna go through a few more of those double dive bombs. And a few more waves of dragon, quote-unquote, zombies to kill. While we're enjoying the music. Which I'm more likely going to get hit with copyright for. Good thing I'm not monetized. The reason why I'm circling around is because I'm trying to figure out where Bahamut and Twintania are going to drop depth. There he is. I don't want to get hit by them at all. There should be a few more waves of dragons. Oh, actually. Killed Twintania. Well, the Storm of Marasidia is basically a Twintania. Ah, you're also physical damaged. Come on. There we go. I think there's going to be... nope. Nope. I think now is time for this. Nope. Never mind. I jumped the gun a little early. Should be coming up soon. Is it the eyeball? Oh. Here we go. This is the reason why I didn't want to knock him down really fast. Now he goes down. Out of a bind. The final coil of Bahamut complete. Time to go loot. All right.
You did it.
Yeah.
But one task remains. With this last coil disabled, there shall be naught left to bind Bahamut to this world. His beloved children will finally know peace.
That's a lot of ether.
'Tis done. He is truly gone. You knew, didn't you? You knew what Grandfather had become.
I was not certain, but from all I had gleaned, it seemed a distinct possibility. The scene people describe of the Battle of Carteneau was one of unimaginable devastation, and 'tis through the combined prayers of the desperate and an abundant source of ether that primals are born. I merely put two and two together.
He made 4.
And you consider that a sufficient explanation? Well, however you stumbled across your theory, 'twas this revelation that made you wary of my attachment to Grandfather. You feared that in my obsession, I would fall under his primal sway. Is that why you decided to join us? To pull me back should I show signs of wavering?
Pray forgive me, sister. I wished only to protect you. Yet I see now that I needn't have doubted the strength of your conviction. May I ask you a question? What do you now intend to do with the truth you have uncovered?
Which particular truth was that, brother? The fact that desperate prayer gave rise to the primal phoenix? That this new god was responsible for setting Eorzea on the path to rebirth? Should such a tale become common knowledge, people would soon offer up their prayers in earnest. They would beseech Phoenix to complete the healing that was begun.
Yet as you and I know all too well, the very act of calling forth this savior would do more harm to the land than good. We cannot encourage such worship for this very reason. Were Grandfather forced to return as an ether-draining primal, it would undo all that he had worked to protect. Your abiding love for him was the key that unlocked the truth of the calamity. But keys may also serve to seal doors that were best left unopened. Let your love now guide your actions, and lock away deep inside the fate of both Grandfather and Bahamut.
Fear not, Alphino. I understand what must be done. The realm need not know the truth for it to be saved. That the Elder Primal is banished, to return no more. That is enough. Let us make our way back to the surface. Poor Oriange must be beside himself with worry.
More likely. Alisaie's Path. And here we are again. After the descent into darkness, the desolation of northern Thanalan seems paradisal. As promised, I shan't reveal the truth of the calamity to a single soul. However, the nations of Eorzea will require certain assurances that the threat of a new primal is gone. Kept in the dark over long, 'tis only a matter of time before they seek answers of their own accord. Let us recommend that the fragments of Dalamud are sealed off, that the truth may rest undisturbed. But first, we must go and report to Oriange. It would not do to keep him in suspense. I dare say we shall find him pacing up and down at the cerulean processing plant. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish this, and then we're going to check on to see if that cutscene was cut off or not. I'm just going to speed through it right fast. Ah, the warrior light returneth undimmed from the depths of darkness. By thy triumphant bearing, I take it thou hast succeeded in thy mission. And yet thou art alone. Mistake me not, dear friend. Full glad am I of thy safe return. But where, pray, are Master Alphino and Mistress Alice? Busted, but still whole. Here, my friend, forgive us our lateness. We took the scenic route. Bahamut is no more. The realm is safe. By the heavens, look at you. What horrors your young eyes must have seen. What suffering your young bodies must have borne. Pray tell me, where are you hurt? Your wounds must needs be cleansed and dressed at once. I shall make for you a poultice which draweth out. Be at ease, my friend. We are hale and whole, I assure you. Took a few tumbles, but the worst of our hurts are healed. I believe we have grandfather to thank for that. Master Louis Sois, then you met with him once more, but wherefore should Bahamut's thralls seek to ease your suffering? I promise to reveal all to you in due course, dear friend, but first there is a matter which requires our immediate attention. Now that Bahamut is defeated, we deem it best to bar entry to all of the fragments of Dalamud. To this end, we will convince the nation's leaders that the danger is past and invite their cooperation in ensuring that the fragments are never again disturbed. Come, let us depart and seek an audience with them forthwith. A moment, sister. You need not burden yourself with this task. Oriange and I will more than suffice. Might you not take this opportunity to rest? The gods know you have earned it. But I am fine, brother. Besides, you have been through as much as I have. Oh, I see now. You would play your game of diplomacy and wish me out of the way. No, I not could be further from the truth, Alice. My lady, 'tis mine earnest belief that your brother hath your best interests at heart. You have more than done your part, and he desireth but to relieve you of a burden he might easily bear alone. I have some experience treating with dignitaries, you must allow, and as you have never failed to remind me of my fondness for diplomacy, I feel it only right that I remind you of your aversion to it. And then it is settled. Oriange, pray make arrangements for a chocobo carriage. The ride should give us ample time to prepare our story. Alphino. Though our paths are different, we share the same goal, do we not? But of course, dear sister, that which we have just achieved together stands as testament to the fact. Whatever path we choose to take, our hearts shall ever lead us to the same end, of that I am certain. Thank you. There's a place that I would visit. Might I ask you to accompany me? Sure. Where are we heading? But first, I do believe a change of garments is in order. It won't take a moment. Now she's showing a little leg. Oh, we're going to Eastern then. The landscape is the same, of course. There is no reason that it would be otherwise. Though it would be poetic for the fragments to magically disappear, I am well aware that they shall remain long after you and I are gone. There are kids playing. Oh, a kid. Ah. We're at the, one of the 12 stones. The world may change irrevocably, but life shall ever go on. Let us take a closer look, shall we? Sure. I have no doubt that Alphino would do an admirable job concealing the truth of the calamity. And such truths as were revealed in those dark depths will never see the light of day. I myself agreed that it must be so. But the thought that the people of Eorzea shall forever remain ignorant of their savior, of your deeds, the injustice of it is almost too much for me to bear. I just noticed something. I'm wearing 2 pairs of glasses. How typical of you, hero. Ever the hero. Even so, I cannot deny that I feel better for your reassurance. But I want you to know that I will never forget. You are the one who freed Grandfather's soul and saved Eorzea from Bahamut's wrath. And through these great deeds though these great deeds will never be remembered in song, their consequences will be felt forevermore by every soul who calls this realm home. Yes, this spot will do. For Grandfather Nail and the Dragons of Mericidia, for all those who were taken by the calamity. At long last, our struggle with Bahamut is over. Not really. There's still the extreme or challenge modes. The realm, given new life through the prayers and sacrifices of countless souls, may look to a brighter tomorrow. When the dust of our adventure is settled, I shall embark on a journey. I mean to find my own reason to fight fair Eorzea. And when I do, I will fight with all my being. Sure. You have done so much for me, hero. One day I hope to be able to repay you in kind. I have no doubt but that you will continue to help those in need and grow ever stronger in so doing. I shall endeavor to do the same, and if the 12 are kind, I hope one day to become Eorzea's sword in the darkness, as you are. Come what may, you may rest assured that I will not be outdone by Alphino. Here, here. When next we meet, I promise that I will not disappoint you. Till that day, fare you well, my friend, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, it's the Interment Hulk. Hey, extra 5,000 gil. Uncoiled. Alright, so we're gonna head back right fast. I'm gonna go check and see if that cutscene hasn't been cut off, and if it hasn't, well, whether or not it has or hasn't, we'll either finish it or it's finished, and then we'll call it a day. Because I've got no more time. It's already been 2 hours for this stream. I could go to my house, but right now we're just going to go in here. The Unending Johnny. Chronicle of the New Era. No. Chronicle of Light. Malja. Yokoi. Grand Company. Final Coil. I think it was turn 3. Was it this one?
Gods.
I'm just gonna skip through wherever they're talking until it gets to that point. Pardon the backtrack.
This can't... Grandfather? No. You...
Tis the... What of the...
Twas desperate for salvation, yet this great... I once summoned it. What then did the dragon? 'Tis man's overweak. As long as man is... Only when the plague of people...
Stop it! He had faith in their strength, that they could stand to...
A false hope. 'Tis folly to place one's faith in so flawed. Stand together. Huh. They would first need to agree on which direction to face. If history teaches us, even you, twins, whose veins run with the same blood, struggle to fathom each other's reasoning. You hide your differing agendas behind the convenient banner of Eorzea's salvation. Given your obvious self-interest, can you truly claim no kinship with the oligarch?
I don't remember this part. I wasn't paying it full attention.
Though I hope they might bring you closer. 'Twould seem that the twin grimoires I bestowed upon you were a wasted gesture.
There may well be truth in your judgment of Alize and me.
Alright, so it was cut. I will play this at another date, but I gotta cut it because I gotta get ready for work. And I got a bio to take beforehand. Anyways, thank you all for watching. This has been part 203 of my playthrough for Final Fantasy XIV. If you'd like to go ahead, give me a thumbs up by hitting that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Keep up the content. Be sure to hit the bell if you want to be notified whenever I go live and I release new content. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about the game and my gameplay. No spoilers, please. And I will see you all in the next video. Catch you then. Later. Oh man, bathroom time.